in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for November 23, 2023, body of teen recovered from Westmoreland River. After 3 days of frantic searching, the body of a teen who met into difficulties while swimming at the Carabita River in Big Bridge, Westmoreland, was found on Wednesday. He has been identified as 18-year-old June McCoy of a Manchester address. Zone 4 Commander of Little London and the Negril Division, Deputy Superintendent of Police Sean J. Mitchell, told the news that McCoy's body was retrieved. It was found shortly after 3 p.m., about 500 meters from the bridge. The Marine Police was sent there. With assistance from the police and the citizens, the body was retrieved, Mitchell explained. He said investigations are ongoing and a post-mortem will be done to determine the cause of death. However, no marks of violence was on his person. McCoy's mother, Denise Morgan, said while the situation has left her traumatized, she is grateful to the Big Bridge community who worked tirelessly to find her son's body. I am grateful. I am very happy I got my son's body to bury. And thank you to everyone, including the ladies of Big Bridge, Morgan told the news on Wednesday evening. McCoy, who had arrived in Westmoreland 3 weeks ago with his cousin to work on a construction site, lost his life tragically. His cousin, Floyd Soji Smith, is also praising the fishermen who helped to find McCoy. Big up to the fishermen from Big Bridge, Smith said. He is also lobbying the authorities to provide diving gears for the fishermen, who he suggested could use the equipment to save lives. We are asking for help for equipment for the fishermen. A team of 2 fishermen helped us today, and many thanks to them, he lauded. Community members were relieved but saddened for the loss of life. Linda Anderson, a community member, sought to give advice to persons who may want to venture into the river. You have to be cautious when jumping because the water is deceptive. It's deep and there's a strong underwater current. A person who isn't a good swimmer will end up in difficulty, she warned. Councillor for the Little London Division, Ian Miles, who visited the river Sunday and lent his support to the family, praised the community for finding McCoy. I want to commend the citizens of Egypt Gardens and the surrounding communities for their act of bravery and the great gesture. A 15-year-old found the body. It is with high praises and heartfelt gratitude, and this is what a community spirit is about, Miles stressed. Class plunged into mourning as a grade 3 student collapses and dies. Tears flowed freely down the cheeks of grief-stricken teachers and students at Wakefield Primary and Infant School on Wednesday morning as they mourned the sudden passing of 80-year-old grade 3 student Alexia Drummond, who fell ill at the school after the lunch break on Tuesday. Little Alexia died late Tuesday afternoon at the Cornwall Regional Hospital shortly after she was transferred from Falmouth Public General Hospital. On Wednesday, when the news visited the school, Alexia's parents, Patricia and Omar Drummond, who were on the compound, were too shaken to speak to reporters. They were ushered into a classroom where they were comforted by members of the school community and the visiting guidance counselors. A bereaved Cheryl Chisholm, Alexia's class teacher, recounted that shortly after resumption of classes, following the lunch break, she was walking through the class while reviewing a lesson when she spotted Alexia slumped on the floor unresponsive. While in the class, I was going over a topic which I did before lunch. I realized that some of the students did not fully grasp the lesson, so before I decided to move on, I decided let me review what I did. So I went to the chalkboard. Everyone was seated and started reviewing. I don't know if it's God who sent me to walk to her side first, so when I reached up I saw her on the ground. I said, Alexia, why are you lying on the ground? I did not hear her respond, so I said, get up, Alexia, and she did not move, so I bent over where I saw her on the ground. Vomit was on the ground. So I grabbed her quickly and shouted for the other teacher, and he came, and we lifted her up and we went to the staff room. Other teachers came and we rushed her to the Wakefield Medical Center with a vice principal and a caregiver, then to Falmouth Public General Hospital, and from Falmouth to the Cornwall Regional Hospital. The guidance counselor went with them, recounted Chisholm. She told the news that it was the first in her 25 years in the classroom she had ever experienced such a tragedy. Chisholm said she could not sleep throughout Tuesday night and that the incident has left her young charges traumatized. The students are crying, I cried. It is very tough. It's the first time I'm seeing something like this. It's hard, tough. The students are sad, they are crying. It's a very tough, said Chisholm. Speaking during devotion on Wednesday, a devastated Michael James, the school's principal, sought to comfort the students and the rest of the school population. We have lost one of our princesses, one of our prospective doctors, he said, his voice cracking, face edged in grief. After devotion, James broke down during an interview with reporters in his office. He revealed that it was déjà vu for the school, which is still reeling from the July death of McKeel Sr., who was a classmate of Alexia. McKeel, who would have been a third-grade student, died during the summer holidays, the distraught principal explained. But while heartbroken by the deaths of Alexia and McKeel, James is encouraged that a grade 5 student who fell ill last week has managed to overcome her illness. Last Thursday, one child from grade 5, she was coming down the stairs, walking casually, didn't feel well and she fainted. I took her straight to the Falmouth Hospital at the time, after contacting the parents and taking relatives with me. During the journey, she passed out twice. While the caregiver was trying to assist her, she passed out again. She is back at school now. I am giving God thanks for that, said James. Alexia was described as a quiet, diligent, and disciplined student. She was a very quiet, hard-working student. Never received a report of her being involved in any fight, James said. Her class teacher echoed that view. She is very quiet, kind. She doesn't give trouble, and she didn't talk a lot. She did not come to me and say, Miss, I am not feeling well. She lined up and she came inside like everybody else. There was no sign of illness on Alexia, none. It was so shocking, Chisholm bemoaned. Pastor Andre Sinclair of Reed's Friendship District of Seventh-day Adventist prayed for and sought to console the school population during devotion. 7 guidance counselors from neighboring schools, the school's Parent-Teacher Association president, and other stakeholders also visited the school to offer comfort. Family and other stakeholders will now await the result of a post-mortem to determine the cause of Alexia's death. 48-hour curfew imposed in sections of St. Catherine. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of the Gregory Park community, Old Breton and Old Harbor Bay in St. Catherine. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, November 22, and will end at 6 p.m. Friday, November 24. The boundaries of the curfew from Gregory Park are north along the Dyke Road, about 1,759 meters from the roundabout to the intersection of Portmore Villa Boulevard and the Dyke Road. South along the train line from the intersection of Dyke Road to the intersection of Municipal Boulevard, about 2,080 meters. East along Dyke Road, about 695 meters from the intersection of Portmore Villa Boulevard to the train line. West along the Municipal Boulevard, about 1,322 meters from the intersection of the train line to the roundabout. The boundaries of the curfew for Old Breton are north along Old Breton Road, running westerly from the intersection of Digicel Lane to the entrance of 7 East Hibiscus Drive, approximately 245 meters. South along the gully that runs parallel to East Mid Street, 7 East Hibiscus Drive, to the intersection with the eastern boundary, vicinity Breton Meadows, approximately 427 meters. East along an imaginary line from the gully in the vicinity of Breton Meadows, running northerly to Old Breton Road, approximately 809 meters. West along 7 East Hibiscus Drive from the intersection with the Old Breton Road, southerly to the gully that runs parallel to East Mid Street, approximately 926 meters. The boundaries of the curfew for Old Harbor Bay are north imaginary line running from Brother District, vicinity of bridge along Bay Bottom Road to East Bay Road, approximately 718 meters, vicinity of two-story shop bar. South imaginary line connecting to eastern boundary, running approximately 648 meters along the coastal line to the left in western mangrove. East imaginary line connecting from northern boundary vicinity, two-story shop bar to coastal line, approximately 236 meters. West imaginary line connecting southern boundary in the mangrove and running approximately 294 meters to the north, connecting the northern boundary in Border District vicinity of the bridge. During the hours of the curfew, all persons within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises for 48 hours unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Gunmen who robbed a clothes store in St. Catherine arrested. 3 men who robbed a clothes store in Linstead, St. Catherine on Wednesday before engaging in a shootout with the police have been taken into custody. It is reported that sometime before 4 a.m., the Linstead police received the information that men traveling in a silver Toyota Belta motorcar had broken into the Red Rat clothing store in the town and were traveling along the toll road heading towards Monique. A police team gave chase of the vehicle on the toll. The vehicle exited the Lidford toll and headed towards Monique, where the men reportedly fired several shots at the police. The driver of the Toyota Belta lost the control of the vehicle, which came to a stop along the Golden Grove Main Road. 2 men exited the car and again fired at the police, resulting in a shootout. One of the men was caught by the police while trying to escape from the vehicle. The other 2 ran into bushes, but they were later found during a search of the area by the police. The men had bullet wounds. They were taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, where they were treated under police guard. The police say a larger quantity of assorted clothing was taken from the vehicle. Cram Circle reopens today. Cram Circle, the food establishment at a section of Hero Circle, which was closed last month, is to reopen to members of the public today, Thursday. The venue was closed on October 5 following the discovery of a number of health breaches and unsanitary practices. The Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation said the vendors have since been provided with fully functional bathroom facilities and running water. According to the KSAMC, the vendors were provided with mandatory personal hygiene and the correct food preparation training in collaboration with the Hard NSDA Trust. They have also been issued with food handlers permits by the Ministry of Health. The KSAMC said the Health Ministry has also accredited the venue as suitable for preparing and selling food. Opposition spokesperson on local government, Natalie Nita Garvey, said the facility should be monitored to ensure compliance with the Public Health Act.
I'm hoping that the sanitary facilities which were being built, that it will be fully commissioned and will be up and running and accessible and available, and that potable water will be in place. I'm expecting that the persons who are returning there are persons who have their food handlers permits in hand. It is also my hope that the monitoring process by the various structures of government, that this will never be allowed to happen again. All of what we are doing now could have and should have been done, rather than allow for this kind of thing to have happened and then now to be trying to play catch up.